Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Muhi Khwaja with American Muslim Community Foundation on the Muslim Philanthropy podcast. Today we have on our guest, Owaiz Dadabhoy, who is the Director of Islamic Investing at Saturna Capital and Amana Mutual Funds. Amana Mutual Funds is nominated for being the Outstanding Corporation for our Muslim Philanthropy Awards. So congratulations and welcome, Owaiz.
Thank you very much. It's good to be with you.
Likewise. So tell us a little bit about um, your background and how you got to Amana Mutual Funds and Saturna Capital.
Sure. So I was working at a large financial services company, which is still around to this day, has, well over 100,000 employees in it. And I wanted to get to a place, a company where I could work for a company that, um, has the same philosophical values, same religious values as myself. And the religious values were basically not to use interest and not to invest in things that would be prohibited by a religion.
Great. And in terms of Saturna Capital starting out in the 80s, I believe, and working with some of the ISNA leaders back at that time, can you tell us a little bit more of kind of how Saturna Capital started?
Yeah, so the idea came about in 1984, and the funds were actually established in 1986. They were from some of the ISNA founders and people involved with ISNA, and the whole movement back then to create a proper infrastructure for the United States Muslim population. So they introduced the idea to the person who's now the owner and developer of Saturna Capital, Nicholas Kaiser, and in '86 they were able to start the funds, and it's been here ever since. And we still have one of the founders is still the chairman, Dr. Yaakov Mirza.
Wonderful. And Dr. Mirza is such a phenomenal resource in the community. He's written books on Islamic investing, and he's has a successful companies and everything in between. So it's really great to see his involvement in the Muslim community and on the philanthropic level and just in community engagement overall.
Absolutely, he's involved with a lot of different initiatives. In fact, we have another one coming out. Hopefully, we can introduce pretty soon here in the next month or two.
Wonderful. That's exciting. So in terms of the like corporate social responsibility is such a big thing these days where companies are being more proactive in choosing how they engage with the community around them. So tell us a little bit more about that philosophy at Saturna Capital.
Well, so one of the things is, our funds are actually environmental, social, and governance values as well, right? Not only the Islamic values. So our entire company tries to do that, from recycling to buying a piece of land and, maintaining the forest. It's like, hundreds of acres that we purchased in Washington. All of those things are important to us. And, when I joined this company in 2008, we were doing the same thing that we're doing today in terms of giving back to the community. And that's another reason why I've stayed here for so long. So the companies we invest in, we like for them to be, community driven and try to do the right thing for the local community, and then wherever their footprint is. And so we try to practice the same thing.
That's great. And that's important for your clients, your investors, people who have their 401ks with you. They want to make sure that their investments are being socially responsible as well. So, can you give just like a quick elevator pitch of the different services that Amana and Saturna provide?
One is looking for investments that are according to their principles, and in this case, either ESG, which is environmental, social, and governance standards, or Islamic investing. The Amana mutual funds is definitely funds that you should take a look at. We have four different funds, so now you can properly diversify your portfolio as well. In this time of election time and whatnot, you have people wondering whether they should be in the stock market. We have alternatives to that as well. Somebody that used to be 50 when they're investing, now they're 80. They don't have to be completely invested in the stock market. So we have those things for you, right? The four different funds. And then if you want to open up an education account, you want to save for Hajj, for retirement, we're basically a one-stop shop for that.
That's great to hear. And I see Amana's logo on multiple sponsorship opportunities from organizations all around the country. So, talk to us a little bit more about why Amana is giving back to community nonprofits and helping them out.
2008, I was told at the time, one of the reasons we do this is because we have investors in all 50 states. So if someone comes to us from Hawaii and says, "Hey, we're doing this local event, we'd like some support on it," our thought is let's support them, and we're going to get something out of it as well. We'll get our name out there a little bit to the people that don't know us, but we're supporting the local community that has investors investing in the Amana mutual funds. So we typically will sponsor upwards of 100 events during non-COVID times, right? I think our record was somewhere around 200 events in a
Wow.
particular year. It keeps us busy.
Yeah, I can see that. And then tell us a little bit more about your client base and kind of how many people or assets Saturna has as well.
And still have their accounts with us. You can find the Amana funds basically anywhere you'd like. So you don't have to come directly to our company, which manages the funds, Saturna Capital. You can open an account directly online with us. If you went to Fidelity or if you went to Merrill Lynch or Wells Fargo, you can buy our funds there. Or if you have a 401k at your employer and you have a brokerage option within your 401k, you can find us there as well. So it turns out that 50% of the money that the Amana mutual funds currently holds is most of the money, and the estimated rest of it is from just the general community because they just like the funds, performance, whatever
Interesting.
brought them to Amana funds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was Forbes earlier this year recognized the funds as well, or you're regularly on, the market watch. So
That's right.
it speaks to the credibility and the importance of environmental and social responsibility options that are included. So, in terms of this outstanding corporation nomination, and what do you feel is the reason why Saturna and Amana have been recognized, and what does that mean to the company?
Well, I mean, I think that's great. One of our investors apparently has nominated us, so we appreciate them. They've said that we've done great work for many years, and so they want to recognize one aspect of what we do. We're thrilled to be nominated, and we're appreciative of it as well. We don't do it for this reason, and we don't actually publicize it too much. We just do it, and like I said, it has some benefit for us, but it definitely helps local communities, whether it's a mosque or a school or even national organizations that rely on sponsorships through us. And then the other thing we realize is that when we sponsor an event, other sponsors are more likely to come and sponsor as well. So we realize that that can
Right.
help organizations sometimes as well.
Yeah, definitely. Even with our annual symposium, you were thankful enough to have your support there, and even our social impact accelerator earlier this year. So we definitely see the benefit of it and appreciate the sponsorship opportunities. So, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, I think I didn't mention that the funds, you asked me the question, how large are the funds? It's about $4 billion in size now.
Wow.
And the one of the beauties of being able to do these sponsorships and support organizations is you get to meet many different community leaders and community members as well. And also through these sponsorships, we're invited sometimes to give a talk, an educational talk, and we meet the community. So it's a lot of fun for us. It's a lot of hard work trying to maintain and answer all these sponsorship requests and whatnot, but we have a lot of fun doing it.
That's great. Well, again, congratulations so much on the Outstanding Corporation nomination. You'll be able to hear who is selected for each of the different categories that we have, from lifetime achievement to outstanding professionals to fundraisers and volunteers and young professionals and youth. at our annual symposium, which will be taking place on Saturday, November 14th, with Hassan Minaj as our special guest speaker. So hopefully you guys can tune in, and we're looking forward to continuing to see all the wonderful work that Amana Mutual Funds will do as well. So again, thank you so much for your time, Owaiz.